Secret Invasion. Actually, yeah, really looking forward to this one because Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury. It'd be nice to see, what he's been up to since the events of Far From Home. See what he's been doing in space. Maybe get more tie-ins with that because obviously he's going to be coming back down to Earth as Skrulls are popping up within like the government and just society in general. So yeah, it'd be nice to get more explanation of like what he's been up to this whole time. Get more of Talos and his people more involved. Kind of explain like what they've been up to this entire time. Yeah, just kind of give more backstory to the Skrulls, just because we got a little bit a hint of it in Captain Marvel of like who they are and everything and like the different factions. It'd be kind of nice to kind of dive into them a little bit more, like what are their motivations, why are they here, why do they want to bring down the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the society and everything. So actually a few months back we actually got a trailer and a release date for Secret Invasion, and it's actually going to be coming out on June 21st. And the premise is that Nick Fury is supposed to be uncovering a conspiracy of a sect of Skrulls kind of infiltrating the positions of power within the government, and he recruits Talos and Everett Ross and Maria Hill. I actually just found out that Emilia Clarke is going to be playing a character named Gaia. She's supposed to be the daughter of Talos, and her character was introduced in Captain Marvel when she was just a little girl at that point. And apparently they're supposed to be kind of have like a tension-filled relationship in his sect of Skrulls that were introduced in Captain Marvel. And the whole backstory is that he's supposed to be finding a home for the Skrulls, but he failed, so to speak, and Gaia and the rest of his Skrull set kind of turned away from him, and now they have this kind of like awkward tension-filled relationship. He also got confirmation on a couple of the cast members. There's an actor named ben-adir, and he's going to be playing a character named Gravik, and he's supposed to be the leader of the Skrulls that kind of broke away from Talos' faction and is infiltrating Earth's government. We also got confirmation that Dermot Mulroney is supposed to be playing the President of the United States, and that James Rhodes is supposed to be kind of like his right-hand man, and he's supposed to be kind of trying to do all the dirty work that the President's kind of trying to sweep under the rug. And him and Nick Fury are supposed to have a tension-filled relationship as well, just because Nick Fury's been away off planet and just doing all this stuff with the Skrulls off world. There's also a strained relationship with Maria Hill and with Everett Ross, just because they've been kind of left alone on Earth trying to deal with all these problems with the government and everything. And then when Nick Fury comes back to Earth, there's just like this awkwardness between them. So now you kind of have Nick Fury and Talos with these kind of tension-filled relationships between their previous relationships and everything. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see like their whole dynamic once they actually kind of return within this plot and see how they deal with all this kind of like conspiracy theories and everything that's going on within the government of the United States. And finally got confirmation on the character that Olivia Colman's going to be playing. She's going to be playing a character named Sonia Falsworth, and she's supposed to be kind of like the head of MI6. And apparently she was an old ally of Nick Fury back in the day, and her whole mission is to protect the national security of England. So it looks like this will kind of be like a global invasion of the Skrulls. Because I know this is based on the Secret Invasion comic series, but I have a feeling they're not going to stick to that because I read up on it and I was just like, yeah, they're not going to stick with that. So I think it's going to be more of like a smaller scale type story, which is totally fine with like adapting because I know it's like a huge series, and I think this is just going to be like a 6-episode series. So just kind of have it more self-contained and more focused on Nick Fury and Agent Ross and Marie Hill and all these new characters who are trying to deal with everything, and Rhodey as well will be really cool, kind of like a spy espionage paranoia thriller where you don't really know who's who within the government. So I think that could be a really fun idea for a show. I also read up that we're going to kind of explore more of Nick Fury's past and some other characters as well. I know we got a little bit of it in Captain Marvel, kind of like what I was saying earlier, like how Nick Fury got into S.H.I.E.L.D. and kind of how he like rose up in the ranks. But yeah, it'd be nice to kind of get maybe every episode kind of has like a flashback, kind of like Godfather Part 2 style, where they kind of flash back to Nick Fury's past of rising up in the ranks and how he became director of S.H.I.E.L.D., how he met Coulson, how he met Maria Hill, how he met Natasha Romanoff and Clint Barton and everything, to kind of get that kind of tie-in, because he's still, a mysterious character. And, I think having more explanation, more than there was in Captain Marvel, would be really good for his character. And, I think, we as fans obviously would like to see more of that. And, I love Nick Fury. He's the one who started the Avengers in the first place. It'd be kind of cool to see how he created the Avengers Initiative. So we got a little bit of that hint in Captain Marvel, kind of how he kind of developed it, kind of how he had tabs on the different Avengers characters before he kind of brought them all together. But yeah, I'm really excited to see kind of like a more grounded kind of spy espionage show within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And another thing that I think would be really cool is if they kind of delve more deeply into the Kree Skrull War. So we got hints of that in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie with the Kree, and then obviously in Captain Marvel Marvel with the Skrulls. So it'd be kind of nice to see like kind of like what started the whole thing. Maybe get some more flashbacks to that. So I don't know how much they're gonna explain all that, but it would be nice to have maybe like the opening scene is like the origin of like why the Skrulls are enemies of Earth, why they made enemies with the Kree. Maybe see more of that conflict, more of that war. Yeah, maybe we'll see more of like Ronin or more of Talos, but I know this is all just like speculation at this point. Like I don't know if they'll kind of dive that deeply into it. I think it's going to be more of like the grounded story like on Earth with Nick Fury and the other agents and everything. But yeah, it'd be kind of nice to see more of like Talos kind of explaining what happened back in the day with the war and everything and like what caused it. And then lastly, I think just setting up Rhodey for Armor Wars, because I think that was originally going to be a series, now it's going to be a movie. That kind of got pushed back. But yeah, it was kind of nice seeing Rhodey in Falcon the Winter Soldier for like a brief second. So it'd be kind of nice to see him in a more of like a bigger role within the Marvel Cinematic Universe post Endgame. Kind of see him more involved in the government. Maybe we'll get more of like how he's reeling from the loss of Tony, the tension he has with Sam Wilson about passing on the mantle of Captain America. Maybe we'll get more Captain America New World Order tie-ins, maybe just like little hints and stuff of like what's going on with those characters, maybe some Thunderbolts tie-ins as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Rhodey in a larger role in this series, just because he's been there since the beginning. He's been there since the first Iron Man, even though obviously it was a different actor, Don Cheadle instead of Terrence Howard, but his character of Rhodey was there. And I know there's like different theories and stuff that like Rhodey might be a Skrull, since it was Terrence Howard in the first Iron Man, and then the second Iron Man it was Don Cheadle, and then something looks completely different. It's just like, oh, it's another black actor. Let's just it's fine, no one will notice. Like, let's get the lightest actor we can and then replace him with the darkest actor we can, and then have it be the same character. So yeah, sorry, little tangent, but anyway, back on track. I don't know how I would feel about him being a Skrull, but I mean, I guess it would kind of be like a meta joke or something that, suddenly he looks completely different from one movie to the next movie. He was like a shapeshifter or something. But anyway, having him in a larger role within the Marvel Universe would be a really good choice, and then set up future events in Armor Wars. Kind of just plant the seeds for his character and like what he's up to.